but it's for the people who don't want to stuff up their vote. Vote above the line. So even though, say, Andy Schmulow's name is below the line, you vote above the line, where it says the box P in New South Wales, the row P, box Australian Citizens Party, right? Put a 1 in there, and then you've got to number 5 more boxes, so you have 6 numbered in total. And just whatever your own preference is, right? 5 more boxes, that'll be a legitimate vote for New South Wales. But definitely number 1 for Andy Schmulow. Number 1, I'm at R for Robbie. There you go, easy to remember. R for Robbie in Victoria, number 1, and 6 more boxes. Some of the parties we recommend are the parties who've taken up the Citizens Party's policies. So, for instance, Senator Gerard Rennick's party is called People First. They also support the People's Bank. Fatima Payman's party, Australia's Voice, they've just taken our banking policy whole as bowls and adopted it. So consider voting for them as well, Australia's Voice in the Senate. Even the Greens, if you're that way inclined, support our policy.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say in the Senate, you got an opportunity to not vote for any of the major parties. Leave them right off, right? Let them lose money, let them lose votes, and make sure that crossbench is as big as possible, because it has the balance of power and help get us into it.
Yeah, and I'll just say on that, because as you said, so many parties are adopting our policy, particularly on the issue like a People's Bank. And that's how you do politics. I mean, we were the only voice for eons fighting for this policy. But so many other parties have picked up on that popularity that, you know, I can't think of very many minor parties that don't have some form of going into public banking on their policy agenda. And basically, you know, we're going to force the major parties in that direction, because they are getting surrounded by minor parties whose vote is increasing at every election.
And what we do is not ideological. And it's funny, it's interesting you said that for eons where we were the lone voice, but the people who've watched our show for 10 years may remember this or more, but there was a time in 2015 when we put up a change.org petition for a national bank. And you can, in change.org, you can target it at members of parliament. So we targeted at all the party leaders at the time. And one of them responded, and that was Senator Richard Di Natale from the Greens at the time.
Personally responded to us.
He personally responded to the petition and said, I support the public bank. And it was the first breakthrough we'd had of any of the parties in parliament saying that. In the following election, Pauline Hanson got elected with Malcolm Roberts, and not straight away, but Malcolm Roberts working with us on different issues, he came to support the public bank and became a passionate advocate of the public bank. Senator Gerard Rennick got elected in 2019 for the Liberal Party at the time. He got into Parliament wanting a public bank, and so suddenly you got Greens, One Nation, a Liberal, right? And then we had members of the Labor Party backbench contacting us, say, hey, we support it too, right? And now, like I said, Fatima Payman's party supports it, and we've got them surrounded.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just we're going to talk about the problem now about why it hasn't happened.
They've got nowhere to go but in this direction. But as you said, now we're going to talk about, even despite the fact that we've had Liberal and Labor MPs pretty high up telling us they love the idea of a public postal bank, but now let's talk about why they can't even talk about it publicly other than privately behind the scenes. So